What's up, guys, and welcome back to Money Talk Mondays, where, as the title states, we're going to talk about all things money. Today we're going to be talking about stocks, but before we jump into that, if you guys have not already liked this channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and just give a little bit of love if you like this information. If you guys do like the content that is given to you, then feel free to hit down below one of my links to one of my e-commerce stores. Just check out a few things. There's something there for everybody. So without further ado, guys, let's jump right into it. Let's jump right into stocks, because stocks has been the big thing. Everyone's been talking about it. Everyone want to get involved. So I figure, why not start off episode 2 with that. So what's a stock? Basically, some of you guys may know, some of you guys may know, a stock is you owning partial ownership in any particular company. Now, are you a big investor in that company? Unless you take more than 50%, you're just basically like everybody else who just want a little piece of the pie or the crumbs. There's nothing wrong with the crumbs, because the crumbs do add up. What type of trading do I do? I'm an active day trader, and what an active day trader does is trade stocks and ETFs on a day-to-day basis. At most, I might hold for 24, maybe 48 hours, depending on the type of stock that I'm jammed up in. But an active day trader, you're trading on the minute, on the hour. You're in and out, in and out, in and out. Now, you do have other types of investments. You have stock, you have bonds, CDs, you have mutual funds, you have swing traders, but we're not going to get into all of that. We're going to specifically talk about day trading, because day trading is just, to me, it's something I've been doing since 2008. It works. It's very profitable. And once you guys learn a lot of these fundamentals that I'm going to go over, you can also be profitable and make second income, or make this your initial income. What brokers do I use? A lot of people have asked me, what broker do I use to do my trading? I personally use E-Trade. I've been using E-Trade since 2008. I'm comfortable with it. I know my way around it. So for me, that works perfectly fine. But for you, you might be interested in some of the other brokers. You have Fidelity, you have Interactive Broker, you have TD Ameritrade, you have Trade Zero. There's quite a few, and also you guys have Robinhood. But please, stay away from Robinhood. If you don't take anything that I say, just stay away from Robinhood, because of different restrictions, and they're in actually a lot of hot water right now. So do yourself a favor, possibly join one of the other brokers that I just mentioned. What do I look for when I am going to make a trade on any one of these stocks? I look for volume, and I look for some sort of catalyst, which is usually some sort of news. Now, why am I looking for this? There's actually a third thing I look for as well, is chart patterns. So volume. Volume is basically volatility. A lot of you may have heard about volatility in the past days, weeks, months. Volume is all the amount of times that the actual stock has been traded within that day. Now, volume is created from volatility. Volatility is all the people that are rushing into a stock to drive a stock upwards. Now, I'm going to use GME, which is GameStop. I'm going to use that as an example, because a lot of you may have heard of GameStop. I've heard people talking about GameStop stock that never even spoke about a stock in their life. But you guys saw GameStop went from, I think it was in a $2 range, $2-3 range from December. And in January, it just had a complete spike all the way up to almost $500. Now that's massive. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen sometimes. Now that was because of volatility and extreme volume that just completely ran a deadbeat stock up. So you always want to look for high volume and just, a lot of people talking about something, it sucks, but you kind of want to go with the hype. I'm not usually one to want to go with hypes, but you got to follow the hype, and you just got to make sure that you're on the right side of the fence when the hype starts to die down. So the second thing is the catalyst. So when I say catalyst, what I'm talking about is news. I always look for some sort of news to also drive a stock upwards. Now, when you hear stocks, like nowadays, we're going through a pandemic. If you hear stock is saying, building some sort of formulas for, let's just say, COVID, or some sort of cancer, or weed stocks, or crypto stocks, any sort of news about those stocks in those particular areas are going to automatically drive those stocks up. So, once again, you want to look for positive news about any one of these stocks. Now, the third thing that I look for as well before I make any play is chart pattern. So over the years, I've become, very, very technical. I play more on the technical side, and I follow a lot of chart patterns, and I read charts very specifically to see if they're repeats, because if you notice, and we will be getting in depth more in my subscription service when I do make that available to you guys, I'll be going over a lot of charts and kind of showing you guys how patterns work and how patterns can be used to actually make a play and make hundreds of thousands of dollars, in a few minutes, in a couple hours, within a day. Chart patterns tend to repeat maybe within a few months, a few days, or even, a year or so. You always want to look towards that 52-week high to see what it's been doing and how many times it's also been tested. But as I said, we'll get more in depth with that because there's a lot of information to go over with chart patterns, more in the subscription service when I make that available to you guys. Another important, and I believe this is the fourth fundamental that you guys want to look for when playing any stock, is you want to pay attention to something called the float. And I will be getting more in depth with this as well because it's something that's really important. So now the float of the stock is the amount of shares available to the public, to you and I, to trade on a day-to-day basis. Now, when the floats are low, stocks tend to make big moves. They'll go from $1 to $3, $4, $5, $10 within a day, and then the next day you'll just see it just die down. So the float is a very important thing to also pay attention to anytime you plan to make an active day trade, because that'll let you know, how fast your stock might go up or even might go down. Your float and your volume and your catalyst are three things that you always want to make sure meet your criterias. Now, one important thing that I'm going to tell you guys, if you don't take anything from this entire video, is always make a plan. Like anything else in life, you have to make a plan before you make a trade. You can't just say, all right, I'm going to trade this or I'm going to trade that because Joe Blow or whoever told you to trade it. It doesn't work like that, because the minute you do that, you're going to be amongst the 90% of traders that actually lose money. Now, I'm telling you this because I learned this the hard way as well. As I said, I've been trading since 2008. I've come a long way from being an active loser to, an active winner, consistent active winner. And always make a plan. As a matter of fact, I have a complete notebook plus PowerPoints on my computer with tons and tons and tons of tickers. Tickers are called stocks. Stocks are called tickers. I have tons and tons of them, of which, you know, I actually have plotted out. There were always plans. I go back, I look at my plans, see if my plans work, see if my plans didn't work, and just basically continue to build my formula. But guys, I'm not gonna go into too much more because that was already a lot of information that I just gave you guys. I hope you guys have been taking notes. If you haven't been taking notes, just rewind this video and you know, take notes, write these things down. Volume, which is volatility, catalyst, and float. Very important things. Now, I did get an interesting question from one of my followers. They asked me, you know, how much money should they put in a particular stock. Now, as I said before, I actively day trade. Now, when you actively day trade, you're not putting in tons of money into any particular stock and then gonna have it sit there and hope that something happens. That would be swing trading. So now with swing trading is when you would invest in a particular company that is working on something positive, and they may not, you know, flourish today or next month or this year, but you know that within a few months or a year or so, you know, that stock is going to go from, let's just say, $5 to $10 or $20, whatever the case may be. I don't get involved with swing trading. Reason being is because it's too slow and it takes too long. I like, I guess you'd say, the faster money or the faster pace. So yeah, you know, you invest as much as you can afford at any given time, you know, that you're actually playing any trade or stock within that day. Guys, but until next time, like, subscribe to this channel, and we're gonna get a little bit more in depth with those things that I just mentioned. And guys, thank you. Peace.